Thanks for dropping in. In this video, I look at a laptop, the colour of which can only be described as sneeze green. I discover that port placement does take some thinking about, and I play Minecraft for the first time ever. Here in the UK, there are a number of online computer retailers, one of which is CCL Online. I've used them for many years and always found them to be price competitive and excellent service. Recently also joining their Discord and online gaming sessions. At this point I'd like to state that this video is not sponsored by anyone, and I bought all items myself as a normal customer. I've noticed recently that CCL are selling more clearance items. The prices here are quite variable, but some real bargains can be had. CCL Online have recently been running a code offer that gave an additional 15% off clearance items. So when I saw a Geo140 laptop Minecraft edition in a dubious green colour, who wouldn't take a look, if only to see if it really is that colour. This particular one was described as in B condition. CCL use an ABC description method. A is new and unused, but open box, so maybe where a customer bought it in error and returned it after opening it and realising. B grade, which this laptop is lightly used and maybe repackaged, but is complete with all accessories. Warranties vary, but in this case it had a 30-day one. C grade may be more heavily used, be missing accessories, and may be unboxed. Now this laptop is a GeoBook 140 Minecraft edition, 14-inch Intel Celeron N4020, 4GB of RAM and 64GB SSD. We'll talk more about the quotes SSD quotes later. On this page it says it comes with Windows 10S, but in other places it says it comes with Windows 11S. So we'll see what turns up. Priced at £55.99, which is £47.59 after a 15% discount, it's worth a look. Officially, the new version comes with Minecraft and a year's subscription to Office 365. As well as a sticker pack to decorate the laptop. But this being a B version, we'll have to see whether those are still included. Now this may have lower specs than most people's phones these days, but let's not forget who the laptop is targeted at. Children to browse the web, do a bit of homework, watch the odd video, or more like their parents who want them to do that, not on their MacBook Pro. So I thought this was a good opportunity to have a look at this laptop and see if it is worth the £47.59 paid, and also see what a B grade clearance item from CCL looks like. This also came with free shipping, by the way. So another bonus and brownie point to CCL. So I bought it. The package turned up exactly when it was supposed to, so good job. In the usual grey plastic that most things come in. Ripping this off, I was pleasantly surprised to see the original box, which was good. Inside is the laptop in a protective sleeve. And a quick start guide. And underneath the cardboard, the 12 volt to amp, so 24 watt power adapter. Taking the laptop out of its sleeve, we can see that the sticker pack has already been applied to the lid, but in a relatively artistic way. The exterior of the laptop is clean, with no noticeable marks or damage. The only signs of this being used being the pre-applied stickers and the fact the power supply was not cable tied or in any form of packaging or box, which you would normally probably expect from new. But so far, no issues at all for a B grade. On the right hand side we have a USB 3A type port and a 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as the SD card slot. While on the left there is another USB 3A type port, the power socket and a mini HDMI video out. Now whether electrically or for some circuit efficiency reason this had to be this way around, I'm not sure. It definitely led to some practical problems I'll talk about later. Opening it up, it passes the one hand open test with a nice smooth hinge, and we are giving a plastic keyboard overlay showing the main Minecraft controls, as well as a website and QR code to get instructions on how to install Minecraft. From this I'm beginning to get the impression that Minecraft will not be pre-installed, especially as when you try the QR code or manually go to the website, you're greeted with an error page. Being a nerd, the first place of course I'm going to look at is the BIOS, accessed by hitting the escape key in this case at startup. Interestingly, it's an old-fashioned BIOS we are greeted with and not the new UEFI based interface. We can see we do indeed have the dual-core N4020 Celeron as advertised. A quick look shows most of the usual BIOS stuff. We can see this laptop is from 2022, either March or November depending on whether it's using the US or UK date system. I'll flip through the main headers now, so pause if you want to have a look and see what the submenus look like. When I was flipping through these submenus, I discovered that we have 2x2GB soldered DDR4 RAM and no drives listed under SATA or otherwise, so I'm therefore not sure what interface the 64GB SSD is using. Maybe Windows will have more information on that. Speaking of which, it was Windows 11S installed, which required all the usual compulsory Microsoft accounts to be able to log in, so I won't bore you with that. I'd like to show you what is probably the most annoying aspect of this laptop, the fact that it has a right angled power plug positioned between the USB and mini HDMI on the left hand side. Given that I thought the majority of people probably power their laptops from the power cord coming in from behind, it would mean you'd have to rotate it round every time you wanted to plug in a USB drive. Given the only other USB port would probably be in use for a mouse, and heaven forbid you were using a mini HDMI out as well, in which case it would need to stick up in the air like an overly excited cable. It really would have made more sense for the power socket to have been at the back, meaning the lead could then have trailed off to oblivion without interfering with any of the other ports. Once in Windows 11S, the setup and updates did not take long, even over my slow broadband. When asked to do anything, like open Task Manager, our two little cores have to apply for overtime. But saying that, I found this little laptop to be surprisingly snappy and responsive, as seen here with my hand deliberately in view, like a facehugger wearing a GoPro. Watching videos like YouTube work fine, albeit in lower res. The screen is 1366 by 768, but a lack of higher res is more due to my broadband speed than anything else. On looking at the C drive, we can see that there's 33.9GB free out of the 56.5GB, so about 21GB is being used by Windows. At this point, I need to take Windows out of S mode to allow programs outside of the Microsoft Store to be installed. This is a one-way free option, allowing you to install and run third-party programs, but at the cost of security and possibly speed. It's easy to do via the Microsoft Store, but I won't go into that here. Once done, I tried using RAMmon to see what memory we had, just to get an SPD reading error. I guess soldered RAM may not need SPD chips, as the computer can be hardwired with what that RAM is, as it's not changeable. Maybe you can let me know what you know about that in the comments. Also, Crystal Disk Info could not detect the presence of any drives, further making me wonder what the GeoBook 140 is actually using as its 64GB SSD. Windows Disk Management did find its C drive fine though, and looked normal, where it was reported as being a generic SA7211. Crystal Disk Mark was able to run its test, and at 289MB per second read and 221MB per second write, looks to be around a SATA 2 type speed, about half the speed you expect from a normal SATA 3 SSD these days. So I'm still none the wiser as to what this disk is, or what interface it's using. GPU-Z gives the graphics as expected to be the onboard UHD 600 from the Celeron 4020, and as a battery test, I charged up to 100% and then watched 30 minutes of full screen YouTube video, after which we had 91% battery remaining, and Windows was estimating 5¼ hours remaining, which would seem about right given the battery used and the time of video watched. I'd therefore guess the battery would last 5 to 6 hours under normal use, which is no surprise seeing as the Celeron 2040 sips power. At this point I've not seen any mention of Minecraft being present, so a quick look at the Microsoft Store showed that I could buy it, or play it if I had a Game Pass. I guess it's not included then. Whether this is because the offer is no longer valid, or the previous owner registered it, is unknown. I was able to play an early Minecraft, which was browser based, so I guess technically you can play Minecraft. This was also true about the Office 365 year subscription. I got the usual trial offers, but no obvious free subscription. However, there are plenty of free alternatives like LibreOffice that could easily be run on this laptop for homework purposes. So next I looked at running a disk-based game. As there is no optical drive, I needed to plug in a USB optical drive. Yes, well. And now to answer the most important question of all. Can it run Crysis? Well, on low settings, it kind of can, badly, at 20 to 25 FPS. So in summary, is this laptop worth the £47.59 I paid for it? I would say definitely yes. Of course this is not going to run Cyberpunk, but for its intended market, homework, YouTube, online learning, it's great. It would free up the family PC, and let's face it, when it's dropped or has cola spilt over it or is left on the bus, at £47, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Given the original freebies, Minecraft and the Office subscription do not appear to be valid any longer, the extra tenner or so this cost over the base GeoBook 140 pays for a green colour and some stickers, as the actual specs are otherwise the same, although it also does come in a blue colour, although to me green says more Minecraft than blue does. So unless they are really needed, I'd probably recommend going for the normal version and sticking some stickers on yourself. I would not, however, buy this at the original price of £150 plus. For that amount of money you could get a second-hand full-fledged laptop, which would be a lot more powerful. CCL Online did an excellent job, speedy delivery and a laptop in better condition than I expected. Well done CCL. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll see you again soon.